Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel for another homeschool video. If you're new here, hi, I am Emily and I am a homeschool mom of a 7-year-old and a 2-year-old, both girls. We started some light preschooling with my 2-year-old this year, and my 7-year-old is in 2nd grade. I did try to film, I filmed this video already once, and then I started getting a bunch of questions on Instagram about stuff that I left out. So I figured I'd just go ahead and refilm it and try to include everything. So if there are things that I forget, I will try to remember to put it in. I'm going to try to remember everything I said in my first video and everything that I've been getting questions about. If I am out of breath, I am 32 weeks pregnant with our first little boy, and I am very tired, so I will probably be out of breath. Okay, so let's just go ahead and jump right in. I feel like I have a lot to say. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is my homeschooling binder that I keep. A lot of it has papers and stuff left over that I need to go through from last year, but basically what I keep in here that I change out every year and use is our attendance record. Now, I live in a state where I don't have to keep attendance. This is for me and to see how many days we're actually getting done of school, because I do try to shoot for 180 days. Not because we have to have that many days, but because it just kind of like a sufficient amount of time I feel to get through curriculum. So that's the first thing I have in here is our attendance sheet. Like I said, this stuff is just random activities and papers and stuff. Okay, so then the next thing I want to talk about is this year we started a different type of homeschooling schedule. So I believe it's called Sabbath schooling or Sabbath schedule, something like that. It is where you school for 6 weeks on and take a break for a week. So 6 weeks on, 1 week off. So the 7th week, just like a Sunday, the 7th day, you take a break. So that's the way we have our schedule set up for this year. That's the way I did this, of course, because I am having a baby at the beginning of October or possibly the end of September, with the way things are going. Maybe the middle of September, I don't know. But I initially planned for us schooling for 6 weeks, taking a break, then schooling for 5 weeks, and then we'll take a 3-week break for baby. If I need more, then I'll take more. If I don't need 3 weeks, then we'll go ahead and start. It's not like set in stone, but I just kind of wanted to make sure I give myself enough time, because I am having a C-section, so I do want to have plenty of time to recover as well. So then into November, looks like we have 5 weeks and then a break, and then another 5 weeks, and then we take a break, Christmas break. And basically we are going all the way through, and then it goes back, like in January it goes back to 6 weeks and then a break, 6 weeks and then a break, and then that has us finishing school at the end of May, which works out really nice. That way I have like the month of June to kind of get our next year planned and everything. So we do year-round homeschooling. Like I said, we do take a break, and usually it's like 3 or 4 weeks. This year we didn't really get a break because Jocelyn was kind of behind in her 1st grade year, and so we kind of had like, I don't know, maybe about 2 weeks where she wasn't doing much schooling, and that was about it. But I do plan on us always having some sort of summer break, and then we go right back into it. But we don't necessarily follow the we start school August something, especially we live in Oregon, and here in Oregon kids don't go back to school until September anyway. So that's, again, everything fell out of my binder. That happened the last time I filmed this video. So the next thing I have in here is our monthly schedule. Now, this is a calendar that I made that you can find at emilycarmona.com on my website. It's a free printable, so if you'd like to see this, if you'd like to use this calendar, I will leave the link down below, and you can go ahead and go to my website and print that out. But basically what I do for this is just kind of that way I can see the month laid out. So I do go ahead and write our weekends, and as you can see, we do have it like an odd date for weekends. So our weekends fall on Tuesday and Wednesday, kind of like in the middle of the week. So technically our Mondays are Thursdays. And then we school Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then we take a day off from Monday, which is the way I planned it to work out this week. So we school 6 weeks on, 1 week off, and we school 4 days a week. And that 5th day on Monday gives me a day to work on YouTube and just anything else I need to work on, and getting, you know, like the house in order for Tuesday, which is my husband's days off. So basically I have the weekends written out, and then I have, this was July, so I had our first day of school, and then I have whatever topic or unit study is our theme for the week is going to be, because I am homeschooling a preschooler as well. I like to have fun themes. I do go ahead and sit down and ask Jocelyn what she wants to learn about this year and kind of get topics. That's the good thing about schooling for 6 weeks on and then 1 week off, because during that 1 week, I feel like I can go ahead and catch up on the next 6 weeks. So I plan out for the first 6 weeks our unit studies, or themes as you can call them. So our first one was apples, the second one was dinosaurs, then we did turtles, then we did butterflies and caterpillars, and so on. So basically, that's what I used this calendar for, and then I marked that our break would be actually coming up this next week. So this Thursday would be the start of our school break. So basically that's how I lay that out. Again, I will leave the link down below in case you want this printable calendar. I didn't put the years or the numbers on it. That way you can use it every year over and over again. So basically, like what's back here is just like our reading log. I haven't filled any of that out. I'm really bad with filling like the reading log out. So I haven't done any of that. And this is the way I used to do things last year. I kind of broke down our school year by day. Like, okay, so this day we're doing these 2 pages of math and we're doing these 2 pages of reading. But this year our schedule is a lot more simplified, and I'll share that with you in a minute. And so I don't do this anymore. I don't break down the days as to what pages we're doing and such. So I'll explain that more in a sec. Okay, so talking more about our homeschool, our like daily schedule, this is what it looks like. Hopefully you can see that. It's not too bright. Oh, it probably is. But basically we school on Thursday through Sunday. And so basically we do the same thing every day, except for one subject that we change out daily. So on Thursdays, the one subject we do is our language arts curriculum. And then on Friday, we switch it up to social studies. Then on Saturday, we switch it up to science. And then on Sunday, we do spelling tests and geography, and we also do a little more emphasis on our unit study or theme. If we have like a science project that we are going to be doing that week, then we will do that on Sunday, which is our Friday. So it's like the last day of the school week, and it's like a fun little incentive to get through the week. So basically every day Jocelyn does grammar, spelling, math, and art. Those are our main things. And then, like I said, we add in the extra subject the way we need to. Oh, also on Saturday she does her practice test for spelling, and then on Sunday we do her final spelling test. So I hope that makes sense. I hope that doesn't come off confusing, that we school for 6 weeks on, 1 week off, and then we school 4 days a week. This is the way I break them down. And the way it works is, the way that this can be so simple is, I tell Jocelyn, just pull out your grammar and do 2 pages. So she does 2 pages of grammar. I don't care what, I mean, they go in order. So it's not like the lesson, it's not like broken into lessons. I'm just like, okay, you do 2 pages of grammar, you do a page of spelling, we do her reading together, and then she does her reading workbook. And then we sit down and we do math together, which is 4 pages of math. And then once Ariella wakes up from her nap time, then that's art time, and we do our art projects that go along with our theme or unit study. So that's the way that works, is I don't like sit down and break things down and make things more confusing than they need to be and jump around in the book and get confused and lost as to where we are. I just follow the book and usually say you have to do 1 to 2 pages. You have to do 1 to 2 pages of this, 1 to 2 pages of that, so on. So that makes it really simple. And if it is like something like math, then it's just the next lesson. Like that's it. So that way, and it makes it really nice that I don't break the days down into lessons, because if we were to miss a day, and then I would feel completely behind. So it's like, just do the next lesson. We're not worrying about what lesson it is that we're doing today. We're just doing that lesson. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to share, this was the one thing I forgot to share when I first filmed this video, was, and I feel like I got through that a lot faster than in my last video, so I hope there's not anything that I'm forgetting to tell you. But the next thing that I wanted to share that I forgot to share when I filmed this was our unit study. So this is a unit study planner sheet that I also have for free on my website, and again, I'll leave that link down below so you can go and print this off if you want to. I also have this in my Teacher Pay Teacher store, which I will link down below, because I do have products in that store as well, and I'm working on my preschool bundle, my preschool pack, to show you guys how we preschool with Ariella. And I will have that for sale as soon as I'm done. I'm almost done. But basically, this is my unit study planner. And so basically, I have the subject, the date, the activities for the unit study, the books that I want to read, if it's certain books, or then if I'm just going to the library to just kind of see what they have, then I'll just go ahead and write them in later on in the week if I remember, just to remember kind of what we read and stuff like that. And then that helps with the reading log as well, to go back and say, to fill that out. So then I have activities, books, and then any videos, because I do like to go ahead and use YouTube as a big homeschool source for fun little educational videos about topics, about animals, about, this one is our unit study when we did caterpillars and butterflies. So how a caterpillar turns into a butterfly was a little 4-minute video on YouTube, and we went ahead and watched that. They also have the Very Hungry Caterpillar book on there, in case you can't find that book at your local library. That's on YouTube, so just search that, and it's a cute little kind of like movie book. And then this is a notes section, so I went ahead and just wrote that we were going to go to the butterfly pavilion as a field trip for that week. Again, you can find this on my website, but that's basically how I plan our unit studies. Is I take this little sheet, I pick the subject, and then I go through and like Pinterest, and I decide, okay, these are the activities that I want to do with the kids, like the art activities. If I find any good book suggestions, or if I know any books, I'll go ahead and write those down. I'll go ahead and do a little bit of a search on YouTube and find any videos. This is a things to buy list. So for this one, I had everything that I needed, which was sponges, paint, and clothespins. I did share our clothespins caterpillars on Instagram. If you don't follow me there, I will leave my handle here and my link down below. That way you can follow us on Instagram, because I do share a lot of our homeschooling days in my Instagram stories when I'm not vlogging on YouTube, which hasn't been a lot lately because I've been so tired with this little boy. But basically, that's how I plan the unit studies out. And then I have folders for every week. So I have them marked. Where's week 1? Week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5, week 6, and I will go ahead and put any, let me see, hold on. Okay, so the way I keep these folders is, this is week 4 when we did our caterpillars and butterflies. So I will keep that on one side as my reference to go ahead and look back on. So usually my folders look like this. a little bit more full, but I'll have the plan on one side, and then I'll have the activities, any pages that I've printed off for the kids. Most of the time it's stuff that I've printed off for Ariella. I also do the letter that corresponds with whatever we're doing. So for caterpillars, we did activities and things like that, along with her having little caterpillar activities, and then her joining in on art when we did that later in the day, the butterfly life cycle. These came from that giant science resource book that I shared in my homeschool curriculum pick. I'll leave that, I'll leave my Amazon store down below to my homeschool store. I have a little homeschool tab in my Amazon store where you can see all the things that I bought this year for homeschool, and I continually add to it if I buy stuff on Amazon. If you would like to see like a homeschool Amazon products or favorite homeschooling products, let me know down below. I would love to do that. But basically that's the way I use our folder system for our unit studies. So every week will be filled with the the planner and then the activities. A lot of these were doubles and didn't get used, but this was our turtle week. So just, that's how I keep track of all of that. And then of course I have my personal planner. Now I got some questions as to, I'm going to have to go through this quickly because I'm going to run out of space on my memory card. But I got questions as to if I use my personal planner to keep homeschool stuff in. And technically the way I use my planner is I kind of just write a to-do list every day. That's the way I like to work, is from a to-do list. That way I can check things off and such. But then I also add like any videos I need to upload when our weekend is, what is my priority for the day. I've started making a priority list, and school is always on the priority list. I will go ahead and make my to-do list, and then I'll write, this is number 1, this is number 2, and school is always at the top because school always has to be done, right? But again, like I said, I don't plan our days out broken down. I just go by subject and say, okay, next 2 pages, next lesson. So I don't stress about you know, like, oh, lesson 2.2 needs to be done on Friday, and then we're going to jump to lesson 4.3 on Monday. Like I just can't plan like that anymore. It just became too much. So there's not a lot of homeschooling that goes on in my personal planner. I will write, like, you know, make sure that we get to art every day. I put that on my to-do list. If I need to go pick up some crafts, like the unit study planner that I just showed you that I have on my website, I will go through that and write anything down, like any activities or anything like that, or anything I need to pick up the store for those activities, and I'll write that down in my planner. When we go to the library, I'll write that down in my planner what day, because we don't always have a specific library day. It's whatever day that I'm not as busy and we can make it to the library. So I'll write that down, but I don't break down everything and have like a specific homeschool planner. I just have what I showed you, which is her day-to-day, and I do plan on typing this up, but I just finally bought ink, and because I ran out of ink from printing everything for my preschool binder and everything else that I needed to print for this school year, and so this just got thrown on the back burner, and I just got my printer cartridges, so I am going to type up this little the way our days lay out, our daily schedule, you could say. And I am not a time person, so I do not say we have to start school at a specific time and we're doing math at 1 o'clock and we're doing art at 3 o'clock or 2 o'clock. That's not me. I've never been a time person. I just go by, okay, we usually start about 10 o'clock because my husband has to be to work around 10 o'clock, so he'll leave the house in that time frame, and when he leaves then we start circle time, and so on. So that is the end of this video. I'm about to run out of space. I hope it helped you out and I hope it answered some questions. If you like it, make sure you give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button if you're new, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye. you.